What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Like I said, I'm going to start doing more videos like this on this page. So to all my previous subscribers, if you're not interested in this information, I totally understand that. Um, but this is just a lot easier and simpler way for me to communicate directly and really just, you know, starting to pave my own path and create my own journey down the swing trading and investing route. Um, I had a lot of information or that I previously wanted to share about basic financial education, but really looking forward to discuss more investing and swing trading and really building more long-term wealth um, and life changing wealth, creating financial freedom for your future. And today I wanted to start off with discussing ARK, uh, the ARK ETF. And as we can see here, we have come back down to these levels that we previously saw back in 2018 through 2020. Um, I also wanted to discuss the ETH and Bitcoin ratio and what that means for Ethereum moving forward, as well as three other altcoins that I am looking to buy or am in the process of buying right now. And I'll show you how you can get a hold of those. And particularly, I want to focus on people here that today that maybe has an IRA or a 401k and they're looking to get into Bitcoin. They're not sure how. They don't want to open a wallet necessarily and deal with cold storage. Um, or maybe you're new to investing and you just want to start investing and you want to start to build a portfolio for later in life for retirement uh, that you can use as a tax advantage IRA. And so we'll get into all that, but first we'll start here with ARK. And really, what I wanted to point out here is we've been basing off for a long time. This stock has fallen from 160 down to $50. So it's been majorly discounted, and we're starting to see a series of higher lows and higher highs. And so, really, anywhere and excuse these pop-ups. I'm new to TradingView. I've always been trading, like I said, in I've been trading in mainly swing trading in my IRAs, and I don't know if it's going to allow me to draw a trend line. Here we go. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not working, but basically we have higher highs, higher lows. We're creating a channel, and so anywhere in this channel should be a good accumulation zone. I could see this coming back down maybe to this uh, 44 to $40 range. Um, but really, anywhere in this range should be a good buying opportunity. And as you can see, we broke through what here was previously resistance. Then we came back down, we've retested that level, and we've come back down. And once we break out of this level here, this 47 to 51, $52 range, um, we really could see this thing take off. And to the ETH Bitcoin ratio, we've been creating this long downward trend. So this ratio basically compares ETH to Bitcoin's performance. And we've seen now that this ratio just broke out of this channel. So it should mean that Ethereum going forward is probably going to start outperforming Bitcoin. We could still see pullbacks, but for now, we're holding above that. And as long as we hold above this trend here, um, Ethereum should continue to outperform Bitcoin. And today, Ethereum, I believe, was at $3,100. It's projected it may go up to $3,500 range in the short term, and possibly up to that $4,000 level more midterm. And some of the long-term predictions for Ethereum are anywhere from the $7,000 to $10,000 range. Um, so it is really probably a good buying opportunity for someone that wants to get into Ethereum. It has had a little bit of a run here, more so recently, and so I would probably wait for things to cool off just a little bit before buying in, possibly. But it does appear that it is starting to outperform Bitcoin. And the way this works is when money comes into the system, um, it first goes into Bitcoin, then it goes into ETH, and then into some of these alts as this bull market starts to take off and heat up. And so you really could see Ethereum outpace Bitcoin here, probably in the midterm coming up in the next 3 to 6 months, or even 12 to 18 months, really. Um, so it has a lot of upside potential, um, but it is looks like it's just getting started. And we also have the Ethereum spot ETF that's coming up, supposed to be coming up in May. So it's up for approval. And just like we saw with the Bitcoin spot ETF approval, there was a lot of speculation, a lot of hype around it. You really saw the Bitcoin price go up. So leading into that, I believe we'll see very similar results with Ethereum. Next, I wanted to discuss the pre-election Michael's uh, market cycles. So typically we see a pullback in March, and this is generally typical of everything I've ever seen in the stock market. Usually around Q1 you see some sort of pullback. We really haven't seen that yet, um, and this kind of coincides with the pre-halving event that also happens in Bitcoin. And so you can see here back in uh, 2013, before the halving, um, we had this pullback here. Sorry, 2012, and then again, um, right here back in 2016. We had a little pullback in 2020. Again, I wasn't really into crypto at this point. I did hear about it and read about it and listened to it some, but I was so busy doing other things. I mean, I had a full-time job. I was flipping houses, um, and then building my own house. I was working all the time. Never had time at that time to look at this stuff here more so until recently. And so, yeah, I've been looking at this stuff for the last couple years now, really doing a lot of studying. But back in 2020, we also saw going into the halving event that we had a pullback. So we could see another pullback before the halving, and the halving is now 53 days away, according to Nice Hash. Um, and the Bitcoin price is currently sitting at $51,183. I could see this pulling back down to this 48 to 46,000 dollar range here in the short term. Um, it could go lower. It could go down into this 45 to 44 range, or possibly back down maybe around to the $40,000 range. I really don't think we're going to see anything bigger than that. Uh, that would be, if it went down to say $41,000 from here, that'd be a 20% pullback. Um, and all the pullbacks we've seen so far this cycle have been around 20%. If we saw a bigger pullback in the stock market, maybe say of 10%, maybe this thing goes back 30%, but all these pullbacks should be great buying opportunities. Um, the other thing that we have to keep an eye out for is the way the stock market is ran, especially in Nvidia and the Magnificent Seven, and some of these big stocks have just ran up so far, so fast. And that generally does not end well. And they're really what's been driving the markets higher. The S&P, is up around $5,000 or 5,000 points now, and so I think that we'll probably see some cool off. Cool off would be good. Um, but things like Nvidia and some of those other stocks that have just went parabolic, you'll probably see corrections in those stocks of, you know, 10, 20, even 30%. I don't think it's going to be overnight unless there is a some sort of black swan event or something unforeseen happens, which is possible. We could get a big wick down, um, but I think probably what we'll see is more maybe just a gradual cool off, and then the rest of the year should be positive, like some of these previous pre-election year cycles have gone. So next, I wanted to talk about the three altcoins that I'm buying or looking to buy. A couple of these, I just bought some of these this morning, put some small positions in these. And so the first one is Algorand. As you can see here, this has been basing off for a long time, and it's just starting to put in a series of higher lows and higher highs. And so anywhere in this zone from 17 cents to probably 20 cents is a good accumulation zone. Of course, it could go lower. It could come back down here and test this maybe 15-cent level, or down back around to 12 cents possibly if things got really bad. But it looks like this one is really just starting to base off. Some of these altcoins have already started to run and seen 50, 60, 80, 100% returns, 200, 300% returns. And so some of these are just starting to take off. I think this is a good buy zone for Algorand, and once it breaks through this previous level of resistance around this 23 cent range to 25-cent range, we could see this go up to 28 or even 32 cents. So it's got a good 50% return coming in probably the next short term. Beyond that, it could go to 40-cent range. And if we go back and look at where this thing was previously, up here at $2.80, this thing could be one of those coins that does your 5 to 10x just to get back to its previous high. So I believe Algorand is a good buy here. Another one of those is DOT. Again, higher lows, higher highs, and it is right there at previous resistance that we seen back here in February of 2023 and September of 2022. So long basing formation. As you can see, it was up around this $24 to $25 range last time. And so once we break through this resistance, uh, we should see uh, this really take off. It could go, the next level resistance would obviously be these two uh, higher highs here at around 960 and then 1176. But really, this is so far behind Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's up here. Bitcoin's up at these prices right now. So once these start to run, you could see how this, uh, you know, $7.88 altcoin could easily go up to $18. And then once Bitcoin breaks its all-time highs, This stuff is just going to take off. Take off. Man, I don't know. I'm excited. I woke up this morning so excited about this. Again, I'm new to the crypto stuff, but man, I'm just realizing how much potential is here. Um, Again, not financial advice, and practice proper risk management. But I'm looking to position a small percentage of my portfolio in some of these altcoins. And man, I've never been like a high risk taker. That was just never me. But now that I studied it and understand it, it makes sense to me being a swing trader. And my experience has been over the past 20 years of more of investing and a little bit of trading. Um, but so I keep a longer term approach to this. I don't invest, money I can't afford to lose. I don't invest, um, something that, I don't think has a good chance of, making a good return. And, but yeah, some of these altcoins, it's just crazy. It's crazy to me what could happen. Bitcoin alone is pretty wild. And I do have a bigger position in some Bitcoin ETFs, but yeah, some of these altcoins are just wild. Anyway, next we'll go on to Link. I have been purchasing some Link again, a long basing formation, a series of higher lows and higher highs. I think anywhere in this range of this 1850 down to 1650 range is a good buying opportunity. As long as we don't lose this support here, this should be a great buying opportunity. Anything down in this area, and then as you can see, this right here, we're actually have just broke above these previous highs, which were resistance. These acted as support back during the last bull run, and now they became resistance, and now they have just flipped back into support so far. So Chainlink here could really run. For those of you who are not familiar with Chainlink, Chainlink is basically a technology that allows different blockchains to communicate with one another. And um, so according to a lot of people, this has the highest function. A lot of people that talk about uh, Bitcoin or crypto, excuse me, guys. um, if you talk to somebody about it, it's never doesn't really understand it. A lot of people will ask you, well, what is the use case? What is it good for? Number one, I do see Bitcoin as probably one of the best ways to hedge against inflation. I said that in my previous video. Uh, the way things have been, and I've studied markets, you know, for the past 20 years, and um, the way that things ran up in 2021 after COVID and the printing of money, um, these asset classes just grew uh, exponentially, really, and um, so much has went up that I don't really see any way that the government is going to be able to figure out how not to go back to the money printer. If we see some sort of correction or recession later this year, um, they're going to have to start easing rates and going back to easier monetary policy, possibly printing money again, and that's just going to drive everything up even further. And so, how do we outpace inflation? And to me, that's Bitcoin and some of these other altcoins. I don't see how we're going to continue to outpace inflation. You know, obviously, working hard is important, but you can only work so hard. You only have so many hours in a day, and I feel bad for these people out there that are working, 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. I really do. Um, that's tough. I've worked a lot. I've worked a lot of long hours, um, especially early on in my career, and I know what it's like when all you do is work, eat, and sleep. It's tough. So I'm here to help you all try to understand and make some sense in these markets, to help you figure out, how can you build wealth for the long term. This is not an overnight gain. I mean, I can see how crypto can be, addicting, or um, people expect to get rich overnight with these meme coins and all this stuff. Um, but really building a solid wealth is not a short-term overnight thing. It takes a long time. And sure, you can make a lot of money um, really quick, but if you don't have those basic habits in place, those basic fundamentals of how you save and spend, you won't keep it. So if you do happen to make a lot of money in this cycle, just think about that. Think about your future and where you want to be. I think the way I like to look at it is where I want to be in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you know. Um, so just a little word of caution and advice there, but really this chain link I think is a good opportunity for some good potential longer term investments. Again, this crypto cycles last about every 4 years, so I think we've got about another um, maybe 18 months before we start seeing things peak out. So this stuff does move quickly. So I think that we probably really only have another 4 to 12 weeks probably really to get in at these levels that we're seeing on some of these altcoins. And there's a couple ways you can do that. This is how I did it. Uh, this is I Trust Capital. So I rolled over a portion of my 401k, or sorry, my IRA into an I Trust Capital IRA to begin buying some of these um, altcoins. It's just a small portion of my overall portfolio. I do have larger holdings of Bitcoin ETFs in my other IRA, but one thing that drove me crazy back when I was working and I had a 401k was not being able to have access to some different stocks and some different ETFs that I saw were good buying potential, buying opportunities, and um, I just didn't have access to it. And it really wasn't until I rolled over my 401k into an IRA that I was able to get access to some of those stocks and some of those ETFs that I really wanted to buy when I saw good buying opportunities, such as ARK that we discussed here in the beginning of this video. And so this is a great way if you have a 401k or an IRA just to roll over a portion or all of your IRA into iTrust, and it allows you access to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of these other altcoins we discussed, such as Polkadot and Chainlink. So this is a good way to get into crypto if you are a longer term investor and you want to get into crypto. Um, it's also a good way to start a retirement account, really, for those people out there that are just looking to getting into investing and really starting to build, a retirement account. Um, I don't think this is a bad way to do it. I would still look at other, you know, um, things to invest in as well. But like for years, I always invested at least 10% of my income into investments. That's how I got to this point to where I could, step away from the corporate world. And so, I think that this is a really good way to do it. It offers a tax advantage. So, whenever you're making, all these gains, especially these kind of crazy gains that you see in crypto, if you do that in like a Coinbase wallet, or, if you're trying to trade in something like that, uh, you know, the capital gains tax is just going to just kill a large portion of that. And so that's why I prefer trading and investing in IRAs. It provides a tax advantage way. Plus, it allows you to buy gold and silver. So if we do see some sort of correction, um, those are always kind of the flights to safety. Um, so you can buy spot gold and spot silver on this. Um, but yeah, that is pretty much where I'm at right now today, guys. So anyway, stay safe out there, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching if you made it this long. Also, the links into that are down in the description to my I Trust Capital referral program, as well as some of my other referrals. So if you feel free to, check those out if you're interested. And, yeah, just have a great day, guys, and stay safe. And I'll see you next time.